Good evening, everybody. Welcome into the Out of Rhythm Fantasy Studios. I am Jamie. That is Eli. It's Wednesday. Welcome in, everybody.
Hump Day!
You there, sitting at home, acknowledge me. Yeah.
Oh, gotta get our WWE stick in there, you know.
Well, we do a little bit of everything on this show. If this is the first time you've tuned in to the Out of Rhythm world that we've created here, do a little wrestling, a lot of football, and some comedy along the way.
And a little
You know
college,
what?
too.
If this is the first time you've tuned into the show, then why the hell not go over and check out some of the previous episodes? I mean, we've done, you count them with me, Jay. We've done 3 division previews so far. Got 5 to go. Gonna bang one of them out tonight. But you can go back and listen to the AFC North, which we did last week. 2 weeks ago, we did the NFC East with our good friend Pete. And then 3 weeks ago, we kicked it off with the AFC East, where I bashed the damn Patriots into submission. I don't have my hammer. I'm in a new setting here,
Hey,
got trees and shit going on. So, a different environment. But if I had my hammer, I collectively smashed the Patriots and Giants because they're trash. And Panthers are coming up, and I have another surprise team that's gonna be really bad that we're gonna get to as well. But Spotify, we have all the previous stuff on there and some of the archive stuff from the last 2 years. Go check that out. Watch us. If you like. I mean, we're kind of cute, so if you want to watch, check out any stuff. And then if you're unfamiliar with Discord, the little link there, I know there's a comment on the screen right now, but if you're familiar with Discord, it's kind of like the Twitter or the DM for fantasy people. You can go in and or an online forum. You can go in and there's a lot of good ideas over there, and it's a good place to check out. And people are pretty cool. People aren't real jerks over there. So Discord's another good service we like to use.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if you like Facebook, the Facebook's all right for a lot of these group haters, as you would say. I mean, there's some good stuff in there. There's some good stuff in there, but it's these it's like these little silly things that you see. I came across a post of a commissioner, like, this was the best ball league, supposedly commissioner, like, was like
talking.
some guy like totally ditched his like team, and then the commish was actually dropping some of his guys, and inserting these certain guys, and it's just like, no, dude, it's messed up. Yeah. Right.
Probably read along with us.
Right. But it's just one of those things that it just, to me, it's drama, and then I barely post in there just because of reasons like that, because you see stupid stuff in there, and people are bashing people for for being newbies, like, oh, you don't know what you're doing. It's like, dude, no, you're supposed to be a community. It's like, hell no, just dumb stuff.
Yeah, I call us the gateway drug to fantasy. Okay, we like to simplify stuff. Yeah, like LA Knight said, we like to dumb stuff down. So it keeps it simple because I'd say most of the people that we get out to are the casual fantasy, guy, gal, the everyman, the guy that works 40, 50 hours a week. There's some trolls. I mean, there's always gonna be haters anywhere you go, but there's some trolls that have 20 fantasy teams, or they live to just hate on people online all day. And it's like, yeah, they're welcome to watch us too and stuff. But I think what? Say what? I think they get some information out of it too. But yeah, we're the gateway drug to fantasy, I like to call us. So we're gonna talk about the NFC North tonight. Got some goodies. Got the I don't know if Jay's got the horn tuned up, but we got the Vikes.
Wait, maybe.
Yep. Feel like I'm in a U.S. Bank there, stadium. Got the Bears.
Touchdown, Bears!
Yep. Touchdown Bear. Be plenty of them, hopefully, especially with that
maybe
trio they got, and tight ends and stuff. Packers, Lions, they're loaded as well. So this is actually going to be probably my favorite division so far, because there's a ton of fantasy talent, and we'll have some my top 5 lists, and then we'll have honorable mentions along the way too. And you know what? know what? Let's start it off right. Unless anybody, I'm missing my gavel. Okay, normally I have a gavel. When a meeting adjourned, court is in session. Normally we move on to the next segment. I'm like, is everybody good? Bubba. Oh, hell yeah. Be nice to the Bears, please. I can't do that. I mean, there's one guy. There is Bubba and anybody else. There's one guy in particular that I'm going to attack, and I had to put him in my list. Basically because the Bears are so stacked this year compared to where they have been. With their offense, I had to put him in, but I'm no fan. I am no fan. I'm going to have a Caleb Williams rant. You just wait. But first, let's kick it off. You know what? We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this right. We're gonna start with the Green Bay Packers. Yes. Now, if you're new to this here, kind of how we do this. So I'll put my top 5 fantasy, and I usually just use skill position players. So we avoid, unless you're in a dynasty league or a year-to-year league that's redraft. Unless you're in a league like that that's got defensive players, I would assume most leagues are just one defense. So, and same thing with kickers. Usually it's one kicker, one defense, and they're to us. The way our philosophy on fantasy is these guys are interchangeable. The kickers, maybe there's a couple elite guys, there's a couple elite defenses.
Yeah.
Everybody else is interchangeable, so we don't even waste our breath with that. And defensive players, they're so spotty. I mean, you could have, Khalil Mack gets 6 sacks one week and then disappear the next 3. So we stay away from defensive players, kickers, all that good jazz. So we keep it strictly skill position guys, quarterbacks, tight ends, running backs, receivers. And Jay will put his background graphic up there. And it'll we have the rookies there on your left, and then in the middle, basically the offensive breakdown, the amount of time they spent in certain formations. On your right, there'll be targets, and that'll be all the receivers for the Packers are listed. You can kind of see where their targets stacked up in 2023, and then let's see, intro X. Eli Apple, you got a new setup. You damn right I did. You know what? I'm stepping up. I feel like I should be in some business attire. I feel like I should put on a tie. Does it look very corporate to you? It's very corporate setting. Got my little lawyer bag here.
I actually, it's funny. I told him, I have a tree at home we could put back there. You can look like you're in a forest or something, in some rainforest.
And that would have fit better with when we did the Bengals last week. I've been I'm crawling through the jungle. I'm looking
right
tiger. But yeah. So on the bottom there, just to kind of explain, what's it's Mr. Lawyer, by the way. Hey, I changed my background, sir. You changed your name. So, let's do this every week now. Maybe next week there'll be a second tree. Maybe there'll be a poster back up here. I don't know yet. Wait and see. But I was explaining that the ADP, that's average draft position. So in 2024, why is Jordan Love 8? Well, that means he's 8th of the quarterbacks. So, we know that the heavy hitters, we know the top guys, Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Dak Prescott, maybe Kyler Murray if he stays healthy with the rushing yards. I mean, there's certain heavy hitters on fantasy. Jordan Love would be the 8th guy taken. So 8, that's what ADP means. And Pete, he's back. I thought he's on vacation. What is this?
As he would say, he's on vacation.
See, everybody needs to be like Pete. Okay, he's stuffing his face. I don't know where he's at. Maybe he's at Olive Garden. Maybe he's at Maury's. I don't know, getting a steak. But he's good enough to put down the fork for a second and put down the drink and come and show some love to us. Thank you, Pete. And he might. You know what? If you're a fan of Pete and his channel, you might be in for a treat in a couple weeks. He might join us for the second time. Maybe. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Yeah, like LA Knight said. So, you know what? Let's kick it off right. Got the Green Bay Packers up here. I explained the rules of everything and go. Jordan Love, I have as the number 1 fantasy player for the Green Bay Packers because why the hell not? Okay, Aaron Jones is gone, and Aaron Jones has been banged up the last couple of years. He's not the same Aaron Jones, I would say, 2021 and before. Like he's not the same guy. And we'll talk about him. The Vikings signed him, so when the Vikes come up, we'll mention Aaron Jones again. So there was a few changes in the Packers, offense, but for the most part, it's the same crew. They go like 8 deep with receivers. So we had a hell of a time trying to, like, okay, who is it Jaden Reed? Is it Romeo Doubs? Is it Christian Watson? I liked what I saw from Bo Melton last year. Maybe it's Bo Melton. Maybe he's the number 2 receiver. Who the hell knows? But so we know the Packers are stacked at receiver. They drafted a young running back. We'll talk about him. He's up on the screen as well. Marshawn Lloyd there. But yeah, number 1, Jordan Love. The guy, 32 touchdowns last year. Did anybody see that coming? No. If you held on to Jordan Love, because I know a lot of people they're like, oh well, he's replacing Rodgers, and we knew Matt LaFleur was a good offensive mind. Like, halfway through the year, he was struggling. I mean, I'll be honest. If I didn't have any shares of him, but if I did, I would have considered trading him. I'll be honest. What we saw the first half of the year, it's like, okay, this kid ain't got it. Okay, he's not Rodgers. Like hell, he's barely Daniel Jones. You know what I mean? So if you just looked at the first half of the season, like, I don't know about this guy. Second half of the year, gangbusters. I think he was the 3rd ranked fantasy quarterback the second half of last year. Just tore it up. 32 touchdowns, only 11 picks, over 4,000 yards passing. Just what you'd expect in a franchise quarterback. So, and the value there is nice. He's not going to get you a lot of the rushing yards, as you can see on the bottom there. That's another thing I should probably explain. So I use Fantasy Pros to get my projected stats. Jamie usually uses the Sleeper app. So that's kind of how we kind of piece them together, just to give you guys like 2 different sources of where we're coming up with this. I wish it was coming out of this noggin, but it just doesn't. We consult with the experts on some things. We ain't chasing no shadows here. We ain't chasing. Oh yeah, what do you think about Jordan Love being my number 1 fantasy Packer? And then if you got any of you guys tuning into the stream, if you have any thoughts on any of these players, objections, like that's insane, Eli. I agree, Eli. I hate the Packers, Eli. Anything, comment, and we'll get to you.
It's not a bad bad option to have Love up there, especially with the weapons that he actually has. I mean, he's kind of. I mean, it's funny to say that they actually got the youngest wide receiving core out there. So so I mean, these guys can mesh together for a while, and that's
they're all cheap.
Yeah, they are, and that's the crazy thing about this. And I know you and I kind of tried going back and forth. It's like, well, with all these guys that they got, it's like, who's the number 1, who's the number 2? And when I get closer to that, we'll kind of discuss that a little bit more too as well, because I'm like, is Watson the number 1, or is Dobbs the number 1? It's kind of a back and forth between these guys.
It changes week to week, and that's why I could never put a Packers receiver number 1 unless they made some kind of crazy trade for T. Higgins. I think if T. Higgins came here, he would be receiver 1 day 1, but or Brandon Ayuk. If Brandon Ayuk was a Packer, he'd be the number 1 receiver day 1. But until that point comes, it's a lot of. It varies week to week. Maddie, what's up, bro? He commented, kind of made me happy to see him do so well, just to stick it back to Rodgers. Yeah. We saw what happened to Rodgers. Was it 4 or 5 plays in the last year, and all of his darkness retreats and all the goofy stuff he's been doing. But yeah, no, the wait for Jordan Love. I mean, it took longer than the 4th year, like halfway through the 4th year. I mean, the patience the Packers showed with this guy is paid off. And I think he's gonna do. The experts think he's gonna duplicate similar numbers. Fantasy Pros has 31 touchdowns, 12 picks, about 3 rushing touchdowns. So they project that he's gonna stay in the same range he was at last year. Yep. And then Jamie pulled that up there. Projections for fantasy points from Sleeper. Sleeper's another great app. That's also where we do a bunch of stuff as well. So if you haven't been on Sleeper before, go check that out. Go download that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's projected for like 348 some odd points, 28 touchdowns. I mean, I'm sure that's probably close to what he kind of averaged last year. Who knows? It might be 32 again. I mean, with the weapons that he actually has, I mean, they got him projected at 3,900 some odd, and he had 41 this last year. So I think he can reciprocate what he kind of did already. I mean, as long as everybody stays healthy, I mean, shit, I don't see why not. And him finishing in the top 5, of course, he could be a course, he will actually finish the top 10, I think, again this year. This year. I don't know, be a top 5, but I mean, again, I mean, top 10 for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't see why he can't. I honestly I saw Caleb Williams. I'm dying. I saw Caleb Williams. I'm like, get his projections off the screen. Let me just pull the Packers. Yep. No Bears talk yet. Yeah, and Love could definitely have a top 10 fantasy season for quarterbacks. Absolutely. I don't see why not. I don't think he's going to be top 5. He just doesn't offer the rushing that a Josh Allen does, a Jalen Hurts does, a Lamar Jackson does, and he never will. He's going to, he's a pocket passer. I mean it's going to be good long term because he's going to stay healthier longer and, be able to throw dimes and touchdowns. So long run, fantasy wise, not as good, but the long run, if you're especially dynasty, if you've got shares of Jordan Love or you were able to trade for him, if somebody got impatient last year, like I would have, you done good. So Jordan Love at 1. Josh Jacobs, I thought he was a Raider. What the hell? What happened here? He was yeah, I know. I news to me too, but yeah, Josh Jacobs, a Packer, and I think it's an upgrade over Aaron Jones. I do. I know Josh Jacobs is kind of banged up at this point, and he's not the same Josh Jacobs from a couple years ago, but he can still be 1,000-yard back. That's what the experts have him projected at. Fantasy Pro is about 1075 for yards. I'm guessing sleepers in that same range. If he stays healthy, he should definitely get 1,000 yards and at least 9, 10 touchdowns, you'd think. With this, I mean, this offense is going to be cranking. Aaron Jones would have had better stats too last year had he stayed healthy. I mean, Aaron Jones had some really good games in the second half of last year as well. And that the playoff game against the Cowboys, the 49ers, Jones went off too. So, I mean, yeah, there's nothing wrong with the. Yeah. Yep. So, obviously it didn't count towards our fantasy year, but it's good. It's good to see the, Packers got a good offensive line. They always, every year always restock. So that's never going to be an issue. Like, Love's not going to be on his back a bunch. The running games, it should be solid. So, yeah, Josh Jacobs at 2 there. Yep. There we go. Yep. Sleeper has him projected at 1039, 8 touchdowns. He's going to get 50%, 57% of the carries, which it was about right. He's a traditional feature back. Does a little bit of everything. Can catch, can block, can do a little bit of everything. If they were getting like prime Josh Jacobs from 2021, 2022, I'd be even higher on the Packers. Other than where I have them at, I have them going 12-5 and being right there neck and neck with the Lions for this division.
I mean,
I'd be higher on them.
I mean, Jacobs isn't I know I wasn't really like I myself wasn't really like high on the guy because I'm just like, yeah, there's other running backs that I kind of liked. And I mean, yeah, I mean, the last, almost 4 years, he's had at least 3,000 yards rushing in there. I mean, the previous year in 2022 is when he had almost 1,700 some odd yards rushing, but I mean, a little bit of the pass game when he needs it, but I mean, hasn't had any receiving touchdowns, but he's kind of more your bruiser. And that's the other thing too. I mean, just trying to think about him, like, you got AJ Dillon there a little bit too, and you're like, oh, I mean, Dillon's not quite. I mean, there was a year or two he had 800 and 700 yards rushing, and almost 1,000 yards. I think that's when Aaron Jones was probably injured, and they let Dillon take over the backfield there. But I think Dillon's going to be worked in a little bit until Lloyd actually kind of catches on a little bit, and I think they'll kind of fumble Lloyd in a little bit, maybe third downs or something like that. But I think it's Jacobs, Dillon, then Lloyd. But I know they got Lloyd seeing a little bit more attempts than him, and I think this is kind of that. It's hard to kind of tell which guy is going to kind of Dillon's been there longer. Lloyd, and I wasn't really a fan of him, but he's kind of he's kind of like a quick flash, but his legs move super quick. But I'm just like, dude, this guy looks like a super flash, but it's
He,
he's
he's gonna be a situational back.
yeah, I
I
think
don't
so.
see, and that's why we didn't really cover him. We did a bunch of college spotlights. If you guys have been watching the show at all, or if you're, like I said, if you're new to us, you don't know what the hell we're talking about, but we did some college spotlights beginning last fall into April, just before the draft. So we did a bunch of college spotlights and a bunch of guys. We didn't touch Marshawn Lloyd, and
Yeah.
for good reason. I don't see him as a feature back. I don't. I think he'd work. He's going to basically take. Was it Patrick Taylor? Was he the third third string running back for the Packers the last couple years? I'm trying to think if it was Taylor or hey, Packer fans, help me out here.
Yeah, I'm not sure, honestly.
From what I remember, but he'll be in a rotation. It's
Yeah,
unless Josh Jacobs goes down, and then I think AJ Dillon. I mean, he's got to be thinking, I signed a new contract. I'm back. I could have left in free agency. I come back, and now they downgrade me. I'm third string. Not so fast, my friends. AJ Dillon could take the feature role. He's done it before. I mean, Aaron Jones was banged up just last year, and who was his replacement? AJ Dillon. AJ Dillon, he filled in and was solid. He's not great, but if Josh Jacobs is banged up for a couple weeks, I think a majority of the carries would go to AJ Dillon. That's why him and Marshawn Lloyd are about to say Marshawn Lynch, but that's why they're neck and neck for carries, because I don't think I would prefer, like, if I was a fantasy owner. I know if Dynasty is different because Marshawn Lloyd's a lot younger, but a redraft league or a deeper league, 16-man league or something, definitely take AJ Dillon.
Yeah,
I
have to agree.
Higher upside with
I have to
being in a feature role. I think Marshawn Lloyd will, he'll be okay, but he'll just be a complimentary back, a guy maybe dependent that he's catching passes. Oh, Big D. Okay, everybody's checking in tonight. Roll call, baby.
Right? Big
D said had to check in on the Packer bashers.
Yeah,
we're being nice. We're being nice so far. I think he's being nice. I'm being nice. We're being very complimentary to your team. Trying to talk up your running back room here. Although I'm not the biggest Marshawn Lloyd fan. How the hell do you go, about to run into this plant here, how the hell do you go 7-5? I know the defense was wretched, but how do you go 7-5 with Caleb Williams and Marshawn Lloyd? Like
Bryson Rice and a bunch of other guys.
Brendan Rice,
Jerry
Rice's son, who was I think 7th round pick with the Chargers. So skill position guys. You had 3 guys that were drafted. You know what I mean? Like I know Pac-12 was pretty stacked last year, but 7-5, that's unacceptable. For USC, as much NIL money as they have, Marshawn Lloyd, he ain't gonna be no Marshawn Lynch. Let's just be frank here. And Emmanuel Wilson, he's just a body. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he was on the practice squad, in a month and a half or something. So not too worried about Emmanuel Wilson. Number 3. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, I was just agreeing. I was just saying, yeah.
We'll go to the basically go back to the drawing board here. That's what I need. I need a chalkboard. If we can make a chalkboard happen back here, I think we'll be in business.
Right? Be the summer of school or something like that. Let's throw up a play back there.
I'm gonna have a giant ruler and be like, pay attention.
There we go.
Writing random stuff up there. That's all fair. Yes. I'm okay. Josh Jacobs stays healthy. You're not getting prime Josh Jacobs, Donovan. You're not getting prime Josh Jacobs. The Raiders got the best of him, but you're still getting, to me, an upgrade over Aaron Jones. So he still, could be a borderline top 10 fantasy back. If he stays healthy, I wouldn't be shocked at all about that. Number 3, J.J. Reed. And this is kind of how you want to organize them, if you really think about it. And even with the tight end, because I like Tucker Kraft, I'm a big fan of. So you could even argue the tight ends even. Jay's going to pull up the receivers there. So the receivers and tight ends this is where it gets a little washy. We know Jordan Love, unquestioned franchise quarterback. We know Josh Jacobs, feature back, but everybody else can be your own interpretation. Jaden Reed had a damn good rookie season. I didn't see that coming. I always thought it'd be Christian Watson, and some people were more Romeo Doubs guys. But I don't know. What did you see from Jaden Reed's rookie year? And what can we project going forward, because he's the leader, he's the clubhouse leader in targets for 2024. Like he going into the year, he should be the number one receiver, but I don't know, he doesn't have number one receiver features to me.
No, I and that Reed is a little bit smaller, dude. Like Dobbs is actually like the size of
6'2" and
Watson.
built like Romeo Doubs. If he could just, I don't know, he's just missing something. If he just had an extra like oomph to him, he's got the body to be a number one receiver. He does, and obviously Christian Watson does too. I mean, Christian Watson's a fucking athletic freak, but
so here's Dobbs actually had 600 some odd yards, 640 or 674 yards catching, and 8 touchdowns and 59 receptions. He had 96 targets, which is a plenty. I mean, in our eyes, I mean, you look at where the targets are kind of going, like, okay, well, that guy's the number one. But if you look at Reed, I mean, he had 94 targets, just a few less, but he actually had 700, almost 800 some yards receiving and 8 touchdowns. So it's just kind of like, well, which direction do we go here? And then you put in Wicks, Donovan or
Dontavian. Let me help you out. It's
I know, right?
It's like a Scrabble board in my mouth.
Right.
Dontavian, Wicks, Bo Melton.
Yeah. So
everybody
Wicks,
else I'm missing. They go 10 deep with the receivers. Anybody else I'm missing?
Yeah, right. So Wicks had 58 targets, 39 receptions, 581 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Oh.
And Watson, on the other hand, 53 targets, 28 receptions, 422 yards, and 5 touchdowns. So I mean, Loves was tossing the ball around. I mean, give or take, Watson was kind of injured here and there. He'd come back, a couple weeks, then injured. And then you toss in Wicks here a little bit because, I mean, smaller guy. Your Dobbs is kind of like your Watson. And then Reed's kind of your slot guy. So it's kind of like one of those. Okay, well, I trust Dobbs, but can we trust Watson to actually be the wide receiver? Here's my thoughts.
Christian Watson. I was going to say, I can't help it. I have to clear the earwax out of my ears. Christian Watson hurt? What?
So yeah, well, I mean, this offseason, there was news out there that he was, trying to figure out, some of his health issues. One leg was stronger than the other, a little bit weaker. So tried to kind of get the other leg kind of to par with the other leg, But
this guy, dude, he's gonna be the biggest tease. Probably the biggest tease of definitely if you're a Packer fan, because I mean, this guy on paper should be a 10 touchdown. Like minimum.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he should be at least 1,200 some odd yards.
1,200 yards, 10 touchdowns. This guy's fighting for Pro Bowl spots. Like he shouldn't. I mean, it's a tease. It's like with who was that guy? Who's that defensive player that he was a stud in college? It was like 10 years ago. Yeah, I think he's still in the league. I'm trying to think of the pass rush. Clowney, Jatavian Clowney.
Yeah.
Jatavian Clowney. When he was out there playing and healthy, he was a good player, but like he had all this hype. He was going to be, Bruce Smith or Michael Strahan. He was going to be this level guy, and just never, like Christian Watson coming out of, North Dakota State. I mean, this guy was the second coming. He was supposed to, he's got the size, the speed. I mean, just a freak for a 6'4" guy that can move like that. Some of the catch, he's a tease. He's teased the Packers fans. He's teased fantasy owners. I got, I had shares of him the last couple of years, because I had him in one of the. I mean, he's screwing me over. He's too good to cut bait because he's too good to cut bait with. Because if he stays healthy, Watson only has 1.5 hamstrings. Like what's that operation? The little game with the big guy with the nose and your. Yeah, we should do some operation and try to fix Christian Watson ourselves.
So here's my thoughts on it. So I think we can trust Dobbs being the wide receiver 1 in this situation. Reed to number 2. I mean, Watson could be the number 1, but
can we pick names out of a hat?
Right, pretty much. That's pretty much what it is.
This week it's Jaden Reed. Oh, next week against the Bears, it's Romeo Dobbs. There'll be a random week against the Panthers. It's Bo Melton. It just Luke Musgrave. He'll be the feature.
Yeah.
I
So
I don't know with these guys. I mean, it's good that I'll let you finish your point, but yeah, it's just you. There's a lot of guys that are like they're B guys, like they're not elite guys or A-level guys. There's a lot of just good solid receivers.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's if you look at the core, a good B plus. I mean, there's nothing there's nothing putting it over to be like an A triple A. It's not like there's nothing there that's gonna be outstanding. Like, okay, well, I got to draft this guy ahead of Lamb or Jefferson or Ayuk. There's no one in that category of like.
You know what? Before you pay, here's a little point. Maybe Big D's got a thought. Before you pay, you back up the Brinks truck to Jordan Love, because you've seen some of these contracts. You saw what Trevor Lawrence got. Trevor Lawrence isn't any better than Jordan Love. I'll tell you that. I think Jordan Love is probably better, and he's getting a crazy contract. Jordan Love's probably eyeing that like, I have one more. Maybe I just wait another year. I have one more Pro Bowl level year, and I'm getting 55, maybe 56, maybe 57 a year. Get 200 something guaranteed, 200 million guaranteed or something crazy. Before you do that though, I would be open-minded to trading for a DK Metcalf or a Brandon Ayuk, because I think Seattle's going to be junk this year and they might want to start over. And Brandon Ayuk, I mean, there's no news in the NFL going on really, other than Hard Knocks and random, Twitter crap. But the only headline for the last few months has pretty much been the Brandon Ayuk story. Is he going to be traded? Who's he mad at now? This receiver got paid, blah, blah, blah. I'd be open-minded to it. You put a true number one receiver with Jordan Love and a healthy Josh Jacobs, and you could be looking at a Super Bowl team. Absolutely. Their defense ain't great, but it's solid. Like and the offensive line is always damn good. Like Packers could be in business. But they got to move. They got to make a move. You got to go get a DK or an Ayuk. You're not going to get a Chase. You're not going to get a St. Brown. We're going to talk about him in a second. You ain't getting anybody like that, but you can get the next level of guys.
Yeah.
And I think Ayuk and Metcalf are in that mix. Donovan below the draft, the draft puck wad this year. The picks. Yeah. I don't know. I think they should have found a way to get Rome Odunze. The Bears ended up taking him at 9.
Yeah, that probably would have set this off. Like this probably would have like totally like set this wide receiver career off, especially with Jordan Love being so young and actually tossing the ball. I mean, this would have been a perfect setup for that.
It would have.
Dobbs and freaking Reed and Watson up in there. Hell yeah, dude, that would have been like the perfect layout for freaking him coming in here being with the Packers. That's what they should have did. The Bears, come on. I despise the Bears. I'd rather would have seen Rome going to a different team than the Bears, but it was all projected out there. Rome going to the Bears. That's just like kind of pisses me off. But
it's a lack of a number one receiver. That to me, it's a lot of guys that can be 2s, guys that can be 3s. It's a lack of a dominant number one receiver. Cowboys got it. I mean, they ain't winning nothing. Sorry to burst your bubble there. They have one. They have a CeeDee Lamb. The Vikings, we're going to talk about in a minute, they have one. Bengals, they have one. You got to have. Packers just don't have one of those guys. Anthony, playoffs, yes. Super Bowl, no way. I'm saying if they make it right now, no. They're probably a divisional round team at best, like win a playoff game and then they'll get bounced like they did last year. That's probably their ceiling right now. But if they made a move for a number one receiver, can't get a high end top 5 guy, but you can get Ayuk, DK Metcalf, guy like that, in a trade. I think you pull the trigger because you haven't paid Jordan Love yet. You're not paying any of these receivers. You're not paying the tight ends. Running backs are their contracts are pretty much all the same unless you're CMC.
Yeah,
I mean they're
pretty
that
much
10 million range, ish range. So they're not that expensive. So you're really not paying too many guys. I know there's a couple guys in defense. They're paying, but nothing crazy. I mean, they probably have one of they probably have some of the most cap room in the league. So they have space to go and get a number one receiver. And I'm not going to stop it. I'm going to, this is where I'm bashing the Packers at, Donovan. You wanted it, I'm giving it to you. They need a number one receiver. And tight ends, we'll just talk about Luke Musgrave here quick. He only had 46 targets last year, but, he was hurt. So I'd like to see what a full year. Yep. So obviously he's 4 of 4. And you might even argue that Gerald Everett from the Bears is better too. So he might be the 5th best tight end in this division. So, well, and then Vikings fans will be, well, what about Josh Oliver? Well, maybe he's in that mix too. I mean, there's some good backups here in this division. Not Brock Wright guy from the Lions, but
Tucker Kraft.
I don't know. What do you think? Is it Musgrave or is it Tucker Kraft? Because I like me some Tucker Kraft too. Tucker Kraft stepped in admirably and had some top 20 fantasy stats when he was filling in last year.
He did. And
he was in the top 20 in tight end fantasy. So I think what you think.
I think right now, as far as ranking rise, I think Musgrave's I think he's the top 20th tight end coming off the board right now. Because they got Musgrave up there for sure, and I think Musgrave was injured just a little bit because they drafted Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. They both came out at the same time, so they got. So I mean, both of these guys are super young, and then he finished. I think he finished 31st in the tight end, but you can
tight end 31 from last year.
But you can kind of see that they went pass heavy. The wide receivers, maybe a little dump offs here and there because if you're looking at it, 50 yards. 25 yards, 30 yards, 51 yards, so they're using the tight end, a little bit, but Musgrave will probably be more than likely be the guy you want to chase, unless, he gets injured again, then Tucker Kraft for sure.
I think if you're in a deeper league, I'm talking like deep. I mean, real deep, 20-man league deep. Yeah, Tucker Kraft is definitely an option. And Dynasty, I love me some Tucker Kraft because I want to have him as an insurance policy. We haven't seen a healthy full year yet from Luke Musgrave. And they were pretty similar pick. I think Musgrave was a 2nd round pick and Tucker was a 3rd, somewhere in that range, 3rd or 4th round. So they were similar picks. They're similar. They're very similar guys. They look alike, similar size, similar skill sets. So they're kind of interchangeable. So if one guy gets hurt, well, hey, you get a top. So basically, I think we agree that in this offense with Jordan Love slinging it, you take one of these Packers tight ends. If they're getting a start that week, you're getting a top 20 fantasy tight end for sure.
As our guys from Superbad would say, you're
I am McLovin.
Yeah, you're McLovin. You're loving.
We get see where else you get McLovin sound bits? I mean, it's a mashup of everything.
So here's the funny thing that Musgrave finished 31st. PPR he finished 31st, but with Tucker Kraft actually finished 2 spots higher. So with less, Tucker Kraft actually finished better, which is the crazy part in this offense. 5 yards, 32, 37, 64. So pretty similar numbers. Tucker had a couple touchdowns in there. I think Musgrave. Musgrave only had 1 touchdown. Tucker had 2. So I think these guys might be a little bit interchangeable, but I think Musgrave's going to get the first opportunity. If they go pretty much 2 tight end sets, there's an opportunity that Tucker will snag a touchdown or so in there too.
And then we talked about all my honorable mentions. I had Tucker Kraft, Romeo Doubs, AJ Dillon, and you know what? Micheal Pratt. Micheal Pratt, he was up on the screen a little bit earlier. He was right in the same graphic as, yep, there it is. He was right below Marshawn Lloyd. Micheal Pratt had a damn good college career at Tulane. So Jordan Love's the unquestioned number 1. Yep. In the college spotlight. So if you guys want to check out, if you're a Packer fan, like, oh, who's this backup of ours? Well, he's going to be your number 2 quarterback very soon. If not by the end of training camp and the preseason, this is going to be your number 2 quarterback. This kid's got the goods. Not as of right now. Obviously, Jordan Love is way better. Jordan Love's a franchise quarterback. But Micheal Pratt, it's not weird stuff happens in the NFL. You never know. With concussions now. With the 17th game, 18th game coming. Pete's back again. He finished up his meal, had his dessert, put his dinner in, and now he's ready for some more of us. Thank you, sir. Michael Pratt, what do you think? Micheal Pratt, like, if you're in Dynasty, I mean, obviously in a redraft, you're not going to touch him because he's not going to see the field. But, with it's kind of like the same thing with the Eagles. When I talked up Kenny Pickett, I was like, I don't want Kenny Pickett starting 15 or 17 games for me. But if Kenny Pickett needs to start 2 or 3, I'm okay with that, especially with the weapons the Eagles have. Like, if Jordan Love were to have to miss a week or 2, I'd be okay with Micheal Pratt going in there. I know he's just a rookie, but go look at his Tulane tape. We did college spotlight on him. This kid's gonna be. I think he's better than Sean Clifford. Sean Clifford's like currently the backup. I think Micheal Pratt's gonna beat him out.
Yeah. Well, I'll put the link up in the corner up there so you guys can actually go and check that out. But what's funny, when I was actually putting the total college stats together, he had similar numbers to Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams maybe had just maybe like a couple, like he had 10,000 passing yards, and I'm like, and then the touchdowns were similar. He had maybe 2 more touchdowns than Micheal Pratt, but Micheal Pratt was playing at a smaller school. So I mean, yeah, still the competition was still actually pretty. Oh, I picked Phil off it. No, but anyways, yeah.
He caught that many yards. He'd already be in the College Hall of Fame.
Right. These are small things I forget when I'm re-looking at everything. But no, just my point is exactly that Micheal Pratt should, he's not rostered right now, but I mean, he might be like, just do like a little, like a little star to kind of put him in your favorites just to keep an eye on him, because more than likely if Clifford does, if he does beat out Clifford, he is a guy to actually you want to watch, because last year I was watching more Tulane games than anything. So I'm like, dude, I had to watch me some Micheal Pratt and some Hughes, and so I was watching Tulane games left and right last year, and I'm just like, dude, I mean, he's got an arm too. I mean, he looks good. So I mean, yeah, I love some Pratt. Even though they went to the Packers, but he has a good opportunity to actually, if something does happen, he can be a QB1 right away.
Yeah, and that Tulane team, even from a couple years ago, with Tajay Spears, who's probably going to be the feature back, either him or Tony Pollard with the Titans. Tajay Spears and Micheal Pratt. I mean, Tulane's had a good program going the last couple years, and like I said, just because they're not in a big Power 5, but Micheal Pratt, I'll have who was trivia question: who was a 7th round pick 2 years ago that's now just played in the Super Bowl, almost won the Super Bowl, is good enough to be like a perennial Pro Bowler, probably Brock Purdy. You know what I mean? Brock Purdy has shocked a lot of people. We knew how good he was at Iowa State. Him and Breece Hall together. I mean, if you watch any of the college stuff, but I mean, nobody could have seen that. So it sounds like blasphemous now, like, oh, Micheal Pratt, who the hell is this? Or he ain't gonna beat out Jordan Love or any of this stuff. Just give the kid a shot. I mean, I'm telling you, go watch the highlights. Go look at the record. Go look at the stats. He's going to beat out Sean Clifford. He's going to be their number 2 quarterback. And if you're a number 2, you're only an injury away from being the number 1, like we always say.
Yeah, and just quickly clear too. I mean, we kind of mentioned this too. I'm like, my point was too, before we got totally way directed, that I think Watson. Yeah, Watson has the potential of being the number 1 guy if he's healthy enough. But with Dobbs and Reed being there, he's a number 3. So I mean, this could be totally the opposite once once things kind of get going preseason. Who knows? Watson can be that, probably could and will be that guy at number 1. But as long as he stays healthy, that's a whole different story. So right now, to me, it's Dobbs, Reed, and then Watson. But if he's healthy enough, Watson is your number 1 guy.
Yeah, and what I like about this division, that there's no trash. There's no Giants, there's no Patriots. So I'm not going to completely bash any of these 4 teams, because there's no laughing stocks here. Some are a little more talented than others. Case in point, the Detroit Lions. Probably the most fantasy stocked, as you would say. Not overstock, but fantasy stock. Jay's going to pull up the graphic. There we go. Yes. And we're going to get into a little bit of Sion Vake, or as Jay likes to call him, Sion Vodka. My imaginary watch is telling me it might be time for a screwdriver pretty soon.
Right?
I know I have some Patron in the fridge. I don't know about some maybe some goose or something.
Well, hell, I got
turn
I got the goose that you brought over. It's still not even open yet.
Well, maybe I'll take a timeout here. We'll get the little whistle. Get the timeout. I'll run over. I'm actually where Jay's at tonight, so I gotta probably swing over there during the show. Start mixing up some cocktails here. Probably set it off right. It probably put everybody in a better mood. If you like the Packers, you're gonna love the Lions. Go get yourself a drink, settle in. No Everclear. Pete, we're bro, you come out to South Dakota, man. We're gonna do you right. We're gonna get you off the Everclear. We're gonna get you some good stuff. Jay's got a whole top shelf worth of goodies.
Yeah,
Everclear will be a thing of the past for you. But yeah, please pull up a drink. You had a long, stressful day. Let Out of Rhythm let us help you out here. Big D, this turned into a Jared pod very quickly. Where is Jared?
yeah.
Where is they say he went to Jared, but I don't see a Jared here. I see the Lions. I see Amon-Ra, St. Brown. I see Jahmyr Gibbs. I see Jared Goff. I see all these other Lions, but I don't see Mr. Lion himself. I don't see any Jared tonight. Jared, if you tune in, comment or show you're alive. Pete's back again. I had way too much alcohol all day and this week. It's okay, man. You're on vacation. It's okay. We wish you had more. We wish maybe if you got a little bit left in the bottle, because you're gonna need it. You're gonna need it for your takes on the Lions here. Because I'm trying to get into it here. Number one, Amon-Ra St. Brown, because why not? Consensus top 5 receiver. It's arguable where he's at. There could be weeks he's the number 1 fantasy receiver, and there has been. But there's also weeks where he's not. So he's right in that mix. He's got a good enough offense, good enough weapons, good enough quarterback that there won't be any drop off. Still a young guy. I think he's going into his 4th year. Just got that big payday, so he's happy, filled up. You're gonna see a lot of this guy. And what do we got here? What do we got? Oh, bam, there it is. 164 targets. 164 targets this man had last year. Bam.
Amon he had 100. He had 125. Where did you find 160?
He had 164 targets last year. He did.
St. Brown?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was thinking maybe 125, 135. What's up?
What?
It's a lot of targets. He's a target. He's a machine.
I see 125. That's weird.
Okay, it makes sense. He puts up top 5 receiver stats. Most of the time, fun. Or Keenan Allen had 150. You wouldn't have thought, Keenan Allen had 150 last year. Well, he did. So maybe it's not that crazy that St. Brown had 164, but unquestioned number. I'd say even amongst the studs we have here, we have Gibbs, we have Laporta. Even Jared Goff is pretty damn good. David Montgomery could be my backup running back any day of the week. The best number 2 running back in the league. He was a feature guy with the Bears for a little bit. So the guy knows what he's doing. He's a 1,000-yard, a touchdown machine himself. I wouldn't be shocked if David Montgomery put up similar fantasy stats to Josh Jacobs. That's how good this offense could be. But what do you think about St. Brown at number 1?
Yeah, I am down with St. Brown at being number 1.
Downtown Leroy St. Brown.
Yes. As somebody on SmackDown would say, A-Town down. Yeah. I am down with some St. Brown. That's for damn sure. But yeah, as far as I know, he had 125 targets last year.
He was. We'll have to double check that. But sometimes shit it happens. So they say I have 2015 vision. I don't know about that sometimes. Maybe we make some mistakes on Out of Rhythm, but it's okay. We're all family here. St. Brown number 1. I don't see. I know Laporta. He's still a tight end though. At the end of the day, where he's projected and even the stats he put up, which were for a rookie tight end, were all time legendary stuff. He's not gonna sniff St. Brown, the level of targets he got, or yards, touchdowns, any of that stuff. Or touchdowns might be close, but yards and targets, he ain't gonna sniff St. Brown. So that's why I put Laporta 3 instead of higher on the list. What about Jahmyr Gibbs there, who gives you a little bit of both?
Yeah, he does.
He kind of blends the two. I mean, him and Montgomery are. I mean, Montgomery's got a little more yardage, but I mean, Gibbs kills him in the passing game.
Yeah, I was trying to kind of debate on this because I mean, if you're looking at sleepers projections,
So they actually,
I mean,
to cut you off quick, Jay, but so they actually have him basically overtake it from sleepers perspective. Fantasy Pro is a little bit different. So from sleepers perspective, they actually have Jahmyr Gibbs overtaking him in rushing yards. Like so they must have a bigger role in mind for Jahmyr Gibbs this year.
Yeah, that's why I think it's gonna be kind of a Gibbs Montgomery. I think Gibbs, first second down, and then kind of give a Montgomery the third, fourth down. Especially if goal line, probably I'm sure he'll be able to kind of smack them in there a little bit too as well. Because I was actually going to take a look here quick too at red zone rushes here. Montgomery actually had 42 of the total red zone rushes compared to Gibbs's 24. So you could probably think about it as Gibbs. I mean, Gibbs, he's an eye opener. He's good in the pass game, open field. Probably when he gets to the red zone, David Montgomery is going to be the guy to actually, pound in the rock. So I mean, this is a good mixture of 1-2 punch, really.
Yeah, he did have 164 targets. I know it's insane. It's yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Guy was a fucking machine. I mean, there's no other way to go about it. Yeah, St. Brown. Go down the list. Listen to these guys. Where is Jared? Where the hell is Jared's our Lions, our buddy, Lions fan that tunes in sometimes, and like Jared's always got to put his 2 cents in on the kiddies, but where is he at tonight? Now we're talking. Don Julio, love, A+, love that shit. St. Brown, number 3 in PPR standard points for last year for receivers. Jahmyr Gibbs, the number 10 running back in PPR standard points for 2023. Sam Laporta, number 1. Jared Goff, number 7. David Montgomery, number 17. I mean, these guys are firing all cylinders. I mean, if they can replicate what they did last year, you're good with any of these 5 guys. Even a backup receiver, even a guy that an honorable mention like Donovan Peoples-Jones, or Jameson Williams stays healthy. I mean, there's other cogs in this offense, man. This could be an all-time. I mean, seriously, this could be an all-time offense if things hit right here.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs is kind of like the Breece Hall of the Jets, in my eyes, because I mean he can kind of
not quite as good.
No,
yes.
no, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
He does. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's close he's close to what Breece Hall can kind of do. If he gets, I think if he gets a little bit more, I think he can get a little bit more in the pass game. Maybe another, a little bit more touchdowns in there and whatnot. So I just think that he's like the Breece Hall for the Lions.
Yeah, just a versatile back. Oh, Jared. Oh, Jared. He's here, full mast. Yeah, yep. You salute. Here we go. I got one too, buddy. Right here. Let's come sail away like sticks.
Well, about time that Jared's.
Jared's fashionably late. We were on time. I mean, we were actually on time tonight, and Jared's late. Go figure. We're talking Lions. He's late. If you guys have any thoughts so far about the hate the Lions. I mean, Lions are kind of hard to hate. They, I like seeing. We were pulling for them against the 49ers last year in the NFC title game.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was too. Because I mean, you think about I mean, the Lions fans needed this, and it's been a long time.
They did.
And since Barry Sanders and whatnot, even though I didn't, I was going, Lions, yeah. I mean, they actually looked pretty damn fucking good for the, last year. I was like, damn, dude. Like, hell yeah, dude. Let's, them actually went into the division, and I was like, dude, if they actually can repeat what they did, last year for this year, dude, there should be no way that they, not get to the freaking playoffs again this year.
Absolutely. And my value pick here, honestly, of all these guys, because St. Brown's going to be where he's at. Gibbs, if he stays healthy, should be where he's at. Laporta might drop a couple steps. Yeah, I'm telling you, Trey McBride is coming. The Arizona Cardinals tight end. I mean, we haven't talked Cardinals yet, but Trey McBride is coming. And we got Brock Bowers in the league now. Brock Bowers is going to do some great things. Vaki going to take the number 3 spot. Maybe. Man, I don't. If you combine all his, between, the return game, he'll, might be the punt returner, might be the, might be safety. You know what? Let's put him up. You know what? In honor of Sion Vaki, there he is. Get your fix there. And we did it nice where he's not covering up any of the. Sorry, I mean Khalif Raymond's kind of obscure. I mean I could get more productivity out of my tree here, out of my little plant here than Khalif Raymond. But he's only going to be targeted 3% of the time. So who cares about him? I'm more interested in Jameson Williams and Donovan Peoples-Jones. Peoples-Jones has always been. He's going to pop. I mean, he is. He's going to have, like he did with the Browns. He's going to have a random game, week 14 or whatever, where he catches 4 passes, 100 yards, touchdown. He's not going to do that every week. I wish he could. He's capable of it, being the deep threat that he is. But Peoples-Jones is the most interesting because Jameson Williams, I'm sorry, I don't trust the guy. I know, whatever, he's still a younger guy. Just I've seen enough where if he's on the field, great. I mean, I might use him, especially in DFS. But over the course of a season, and especially in redraft, where it's more vital, you can't really be patient with guys. Jameson Williams, I'm kind of out on. So I'll trust St. Brown. I'll trust Laporta. And, if you want a sleeper, Donovan Peoples-Jones. And, yep, there he is, the aforementioned Sion Vaki. This guy was, Jay, he was, I'll let you finish up. Do you have any, I'm sorry. Got a break for a second. Did you want to finish up the receiver points there?
I mean, yeah, I was just going to say, with Peoples-Jones, I mean, I love the way. I mean, I watched him at with the Wolverines. Yeah, he did some. I mean, there's a good chance that maybe they use him in special teams because I mean, he actually ran back some punt returns, dude. He actually was electric in the punt return game. He actually ran some back. I think I think maybe if Williams does not pan out, I think Peoples-Jones could be the 2 or 3 in this offense for sure, and kind of help give him a little spark to what they already got already. I mean, Raymond, he's kind of a guy that's been bouncing around here and there, and he's almost 30 years old. So I mean, he's just kind of an underdog, kind of, here's a couple dump offs for you here and such. But I love Peoples-Jones. I mean, he didn't really help him out last year because he got, with the trade and everything. I think he could be a little bit more involved this year. The Lions hope that Jameson Williams can be the guy. But let's sprinkle in a little Peoples-Jones in there as well because he can actually go deep too as well. So I mean, he's not quite a burner like Jameson is, but I mean, Peoples-Jones can actually take some stuff to the house too.
Yeah, and you have the perfect slot receiver, the do everything receiver in St. Brown, and then you have your. I mean, I like the receiving core. Obviously, I'm not a Khalif Raymond guy, but if these guys if Jameson Williams,
garbage goober, get out here and eat this garbage.
Yeah, oh, that was good timing. Yeah, you got the perfect do everything slot guy, St. Brown, the two deep guys. Williams and Peoples-Jones. And then the rest of the depth chart, Tom Kennedy. I mean, these are obscure guys. They're not. St. Brown never gets hurt, so you don't have to worry about that. He's gonna be a target machine again. That target percentage, depending on what Jameson Williams does, might break 20. I mean, it might be 21% where he's target. I mean, he's gonna be fed nicely.
Yeah, and I think so. I have to agree. I mean, it's
throw him up.
Damn right. And I just think that that the Lions they've been unproven for so many years, and all of a sudden they're starting to get pieces around them. And I think with them adding Peoples-Jones, it's just another piece for them to just attack these defenses.
Yeah, and you know what? Another guy that can attack the defense both ways because he can tackle you and run over you. Vaki. Guy, yeah, he was a second team All-American safety, and in special teams he made the first team as well as being safety, first team All Pac-12.
Yeah,
so, yeah, like LA Knight says, first team All Pac-12 2 different times. I mean, come on, what's not to like? Why the hell? look at me when I say this. Why the hell did the New England Patriots not take this guy? That's how you know Bill Belichick is done. He's over. Is because that would have been the perfect New England Patriot. The do everything guy, whatever the hell they ask him to do. Like Mike Vrabel back in the day and Edelman and all those guys. I mean, Vaki, we would have seen a bunch of Vaki. Vaki would have been playing safety. He would have been returning kicks. He would have been people on special teams, kick returns. Would have been catching would have been taking pass targets away from Montgomery and Gibbs. Or whoever the hell the Patriot was, Stevenson, whoever. But Vaki there, 4th round pick from Utah. He's this. I mean, the 4.62 40. It's just kind of ho hum or whatever. But I mean, just watching him on tape. I mean, he's running away from guys. He's running away from Pac-12 schools. And then the other way, I mean, he's so he's running them over one way, catching passes, and then the other way, I mean, he's a all-American level safety. So it's like you can't miss. Okay, if he's struck, obviously they think he can be a better running back, or like in that mold, maybe special teams or whatever. But I mean, that could always work in his favor, down the line. He could hey, well, let's try at safety. They get desperate enough. Maybe Lions have a couple injuries. Hey, Vaki, go out there. Go do your thing. But you can see. So I put up his. He only played 2 years in college because he was a missionary. I think he did like a 3-year missionary trip before that. So, good dude, good solid guy. 2023, his rushing stats there. 2022 are his defensive stats because he didn't have any rushing or, catching passes or rush attempts or anything. But, his, I guess, sophomore year, if you call it, had over 300 yards rushing, a couple touchdowns. Pretty good pass catcher too. Had over 200 yards pass catching, 3 touchdowns. So just a versatile guy, a guy you would have, Bill Belichick is no longer in the NFL because this to me, this guy like drips New England Patriots, the old New England Patriots. Before they went to trash, before they went to hell, before they're about to screw up. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Before they're going to screw up Drake May, before they're going to screw up Von Baker, before they're going to screw up Jalen Polk. Okay, those were the good old days. They ain't coming back. What do you think? What do you think about what our buddy Vodka here, or vodka?
As our favorite guy from the Sausage Party would say.
Answers I have, but first, I must know the question.
But
I can't wait for that second Sausage Party.
Right?
I got
it's kind of
knock on wood.
It's kind of one of those things that having a guy like him, like being a versatile, is actually not a bad thing because what if Montgomery goes down?
Yeah.
He can fill in right. He can come in and do that. He can fill right in that role. I mean, he might be a power runner, but I mean he's versatile in a lot of those areas. I mean, I just saw like a little bit of what he can do, a little bit, but I mean, with the very limited of highlights out there. I mean, yeah, I mean, this guy is pretty much universal. Plug him in here or there. I mean, yeah, it sucks that the Patriots didn't could use a guy like him, but it oh well, sucks to be them.
I mean, when Utah, obviously, if you follow the college product, we know Cam Rising got hurt last year, and we know Utah was a lot better a couple years ago in 2022, and Vaki, even as a freshman, I saw him running all over the damn field. Because we saw quite, I know I did. I saw quite a few Utah games. Cam Rising was supposed to be a highly touted. Maybe he still can, but he was supposed to come out and just be kind of where Spencer Rattler and Micheal Pratt are at, kind of a mid to late round quarterback. So Cam Rising and Utah was stacked a few years ago. They had Devon Vele, the receiver, was drafted by the Broncos. I mean, Utah's had some players through, and this guy might be the best of the bunch. Just saying, Vaki might be the best that's come out of Utah in a skill position wise the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, I love Utah going over to I think it's the Big Ten or whatever.
Big 12.
Big 12, yeah.
They might win that damn conference. It might be them and Oklahoma State, like neck and neck.
I think
our boy Ollie Gordon.
Dude, I love Utah going up there. I just hope they just wreck that whole division because
I
I
think
mean
they will.
I watched a lot of Utah last year too as well, and I mean they flip. I mean the sad thing about that is quick is they kind of flip flopped the quarterbacks in here just because they didn't have Cam. I mean he could have came back in one of the bowls, but they're like they didn't want to risk it. It's like
No,
why,
no,
so I
they're going
mean
for like this year they would have gone, trying to get a playoff spot. And
yeah.
Utah, yeah, I know this isn't a college football show, but now it is. It's our show. We talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. Yeah, don't be surprised if Utah's a one of the 12 playoff teams. Don't be surprised. They're gonna
Damn right.
be in there. That's a damn good program. And they're gonna smack around the Big 12. Just watch.
But yeah, just quickly here you can just see the tight end projections here. I mean, this tight end division is actually to us is actually a little bit better than some of the other divisions. I mean,
This is tight end Jay, this is tight end you. This
Yep.
is because some of these backups here could possibly be starter. Like, you don't think Tucker Kraft couldn't be the starting tight end for the New York Giants? Like even Josh Oliver from the backup with the Vikes, and we'll get the Vikes here in a second, but even Josh Oliver is decent. Like some of these guys could be starters other places, and they're backups in this division. Gerald Everett was a starter for like the last 5 years with Seattle and the Chargers. Like, Gerald Everett's been a solid tight end.
yeah, for sure.
He's decent, but like some of these backups here. I mean, this is tight end you. I mean, this is the AFC West is gonna they're gonna put their hat in the ring. With having Kelsey and Brock Bowers now, but just overall front to back, just with backups and starters, this is the best tight end division in the league.
Yeah, I gotta agree. It is. I mean, who doesn't love Sam Laporta? I mean, everybody is still talking about that damn Travis Kelce. They're like, oh, he's gonna be a top 5, tight end this year.
He's dancing around with Taylor Swift, man.
He's gonna be more like a.
If Anthony's still listening, Anthony's a little more in the entertainment world than we are. But I thought Kelce, was in like some kind of suit and he was dancing with her, and I think over in Europe or something on one of her concerts.
Oh, good God, my.
See these young Lions, these young Bucks here. They're coming for the crown. I mean, these young guys are, McBride from Arizona. Obviously Brock Bowers coming in. You got, Laporta has probably already passed him, honestly. I mean, right at this point.
Yeah. I have to.
Yeah,
I gotta agree. Oh, I even said it too. I mean, Kelsey's getting old. He's getting to be a grandpa of this tight end world, and it's like time to get some new blood up in here.
New blood, exactly.
Yeah. And that's my thoughts in general.
Jay, even TJ Hawkinson is, and we'll talk about him in a little bit. I mean, his stock is kind of fallen a little bit in terms of where he's going to be drafted. I mean, it's the new blood. I mean, it's the new blood. Young, a couple of young guys from Green Bay too. But Lions there. I was going to say another one. So Peoples-Jones I liked as a sleeper. I also like Jared Goff a lot at number 12. Oh. I think there's some great value if that's his ADP, man. Like, I think that's some great value you can get for Jared Goff, because Jared Goff is he's gonna get you right now. 20 Sleepers got him 29. Fantasy Pros had him 27. I think he gets at least 30 touchdowns with this offense. He should get. I mean, if he can't get 30 touchdowns with this offense, then put in Hendon Hooker. You know what I'm saying? Put no matter what contract you just gave Goff, you put Hendon Hooker in there. You should be able to get 30 touchdowns with this. Doesn't offer much with in the rushing game. Obviously, kind of like
I think it's
projected 46 rushing yards, 46 rushing yards and like a touchdown or something.
Yeah, I think he snags a couple rushing touchdowns.
A couple quarterback sneak touchdowns.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, that's just not his game. But you don't. What I like about Jared Goff, you don't have to ever worry about him getting hurt.
Yeah, I think his ceiling is 30 touchdowns. He hasn't gone over like 35 some odd touchdowns. So I mean, his ceiling is at like 30 some odd touchdowns. So I mean, 29 is probably a good average of what you can probably expect, from Goff. I mean, he's probably in the top 15-ish of quarterbacks coming off the board more than likely. If you think about it and take a look at it. I mean, for and maybe your number 2 guy, maybe, I know not quite, maybe a starter, your number 1 coming off the board, but definitely your number 2.
If I was in a 12-man league, I would be okay. If my quarterback with Goff, just a redraft 12-man, let guns blazing, I would be okay with Jared Goff as my quarterback. I would trust Jared
Yeah,
Goff.
I guess. I mean, I guess
because you can
Goff
you
is.
can make up you can make up the points elsewhere with your
Yeah.
backs, your tight ends, your kind of a guy that people didn't think would hit that ends up being like Vaki. Like who knows? Maybe Montgomery goes down. He has an injury history with the Bears, and maybe Vaki comes in as the backup to Gibbs, and he gets a lot of those touches that would have gone to Montgomery. Montgomery's got an injury history, so in Vaki you could pick up cheap. Nobody's going to be touching him, so you could piece it together. You don't have to go get a Hurts. You don't have to go and get an Allen, anybody like that. You can go and Jared Goff. If you can't get Jordan Love, I mean, Jared Goff is a nice consolation prize.
Yeah, they got he's ranked about 12th right now,
Yeah,
so he's going around.
That is damn good value.
Yeah, he's going around like, Love, Murray, Herbert, T-Law, Tua, Stafford, kind of right in that area of guys, So I mean, yeah, I would probably take Herbert over Goff, but I mean that's just me personally, just because I just like the fact that Herbert's got some good upside. But I mean Goff is not bad either. I mean for being in the pocket, it is.
That's a whatever the Twitter X, whatever the hell they call it now. That would be a question for that. We know quarterback Justin Herbert's younger and more skills, and I get that. But fantasy wise, would you rather have Justin Herbert or Jared Goff? That's a damn good, because I like what Goff is working with more. I do. The weapons. I mean, Herbert's better than him, but not that much better than him. You know what I mean? So I think the weapons kind of make it a wash. Where I'm okay with either guy. Yeah,
I mean Herbert has. I mean the unknown of QJ, and they got some unknowns area. I mean, that could be true. I mean, with the stability of what Goff got. I mean, that's. It all depends if you're a Charger fan or Charger homer. You'd be like, yeah, I'm taking, Herbert no matter
How many
what.
of them are out there? Have we ever a Charger fan ever?
Nope, not yet. But yeah, is there anything else we want to wrap up with the Lions?
No, Jay, because I'm going to call an audible. Okay, we got the in my opinion, and probably Jay's too, the two best teams in the NFC North out of the way. Banged them out. We got two bangers out the door. Yeah. You know what? We're gonna call an audible. I was gonna do the Bears first, but no. Get that horn ready. Don't you sour. Be happy. Be it's time for the Minnesota Vikings. Yes. Here it is. Yep. I feel like we're in U.S. Bank Stadium. Yep.
There we go.
Time to turn it up. What do they say downtown? Girl, turn it up. Turn it up. All right. So let me preface it with this. So technically, Sam Darnold is the leader. He's the leader in the clubhouse to be the starting quarterback week 1. So that's why I put him at number 5. Do I think Sam Darnold long term is going to be better than J.J. McCarthy? No, but because Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. Let's just be honest. So McCarthy's got. So Jay's got his college stats there from Michigan. We know he won the national championship last year. That's how he ended up becoming the 10th pick. Was it 10th or 11th?
Yeah. I think.
Well, he was somewhere.
He was a top 15 guy for sure.
Yeah, but you can see on the bottom there, it's coming up. So J.J. McCarthy, he's kind of an honorable mention, but he could very well midway through the season be the starting quarterback. So we'll wait and see. You can see his projected stats according to Fantasy Pros. I don't believe in that because I think at the very least Sam Darnold will be serviceable at least for a little bit. So McCarthy's not going to sniff over 3,300 yards or 20 touchdowns or anything like that. He might get a half a season of work. If the Vikings really did shit the bed and go 2-6 or 1-6 or somewhere in that range. But you know what? Enough about these quarterbacks. Enough about career backups like Sam Darnold who see ghosts. Enough about young pups like J.J. McCarthy. Let's go to the tried and true, which we could call the first two guys for sure. I don't think there's any questions here. JJ at 1, TJ Hawkinson at number 2. JJ universal top 3 fantasy receiver. It's just whatever order you want to go in, basically. It's like, well, do you want CD, Chase, JJ? Do you want Tyreek? I guess you could make it 4. Maybe even 5 with St. Brown. I don't know. All these 5. I mean, St. Brown's throwing his hat in the ring too. Maybe you can make all 5 of these guys interchangeable. Tyreek, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, JJ, St. Brown. AJ Brown's got the attitude of a top 5 receiver, and he's paid like one, but I don't think he's as good as these guys. So I think it's the $5 foot long right there. Right there. We just took that away from. I don't think Subway's had $5 foot longs in 10 years or whatever. But
I think that might be true.
Like Eli, why do you always make lists of 5? Because I'm trying to trademark this shit. That's why.
Well, I mean, that's why he's got the.
But I think this goes without saying. What do you think about JJ being number 1?
It's a dud. No comprende. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, shit. Based on his targets from last year, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he
was hurt, but
yeah, he's the number 1 here. It's when we kind of get a little bit more into the wide receivers, it's a little bit more difficult because there's really a fall off right after Addison. There's really no one else after that. I mean, Hawkinson possibly, but the wide receiver core here is really, really simmer. They need a veteran, and hey, hell, maybe bring in Jarvis Landry. Bring him over to the Vikings. He might be able to help out somewhere in there or something.
Hey, why stop there? Go sign Ocho.
Oh no! You know what? They should bring in Michael Thomas. Go out and get Michael Thomas. Bring him in from the Saints because he's a free agent. Bring his ass to the Vikings. Bring him up.
Let me open up my briefcase here. Let me see what court case Michael Thomas is working with here. Oh, it says he's available. You know what? I think that's I think you're either on some, as one of my favorite Minneapolis radio hosts used to say when I lived in the Twin Cities. You're either onto something or you're on something. I think you're onto something here, Jamie. I think you sign Michael Thomas. He could be their number 4 receiver. Why the hell not? I mean, maybe at this point Brandon Powell's a little bit better. But, there's JJ, Addison, Brandon Powell maybe. But Michael Thomas could step in day 1 and be the number 4 receiver for sure. At this stage of his career, it's worth kicking the tires on.
Yeah, hell, why not? I mean, they need help in this offense. I mean, who in the hell's who's gonna draft Powell? I mean, I could see maybe in a 16-team league. Even in a 16, I wouldn't even touch this guy.
No, absolutely not. No.
If they had Michael Thomas, yeah, most definitely, I totally would. I'd be like, yeah, give me a shot with Michael Thomas because I mean, there is, and yeah, he's been injured and whatnot, but I mean, he's been around for a while. But I mean, there's still a little bit of upside to this guy.
Well, and look at his stats. So Michael Thomas, he still had. I mean, people forget. Like, obviously, he's not going to put up his 2019 stats, caught almost 150 balls, over 1,700 yards. He ain't even sniffing 1,000 yards ever again. But last year, 39 catches, 448 yards. He only had 1 touchdown. But you're telling me he couldn't come in and compete with somebody like Brandon Powell, like for targets and like I don't see why not. I mean, because the rest of the depth chart is a bunch of scrubs.
Yeah, I think
in the pipeline there really is.
No,
I mean,
there isn't.
fans probably even admit that there's nobody in the pipeline coming up. You got a decent backup tight end, Josh Oliver. You got a damn good one, T.J. Hawkinson for sure. You got two high end receivers. I mean, Addison. I know they kind of have his numbers taking a step back this year because there'll be more at JJ, and I think that's great value. The fact that his average draft position is 40 for Jordan Addison, which is criminal. I mean, that might be a highway theft. If they can get any kind of quarterback play from Darnold or McCarthy, that'll be theft. I mean, you just robbed a bank getting Jordan Addison that low. Now's your chance, Eli. Yeah. You know what? I'm jumping all over for a redraft league. Absolutely. I mean, Jordan Addison, you're not going to get your hands on in Dynasty. Let's just be honest. But redraft, yeah. If he's going there, sign me up. I'm okay with that. But everybody else is just, they're fighting for table scraps. And that's why we come up with creative solutions. Like, why are you guys talking about, Michael Thomas he's half dead. He's half retired because he's an available receiver.
Yeah.
He's 31. I mean, he can still, he can still go a little bit. I mean, he had 448 yards last year. I mean, that's go through the rest of the Vikings depth chart. Trent Sherfield, You know,
Nope.
what the hell is he
Hell
going to do?
no.
Brandon Powell. Look what they got Brandon Powell projected at 141 yards. What, 2% of the targets? That's a joke.
Yeah, it is. That's why, and that's why I was saying like Jefferson, Addison, and then you toss in Hawkinson, but then it's like, who else are you gonna have? I mean, yeah, they got Aaron Jones, but I mean he's not really much of a pass catcher. He's more your he's more your run and grunt. You know, he's like through the line. You know,
he can catch a little bit. I just don't trust his health.
Well, yeah.
Honest, like that's been my biggest concern with Aaron Jones the last couple of years is his health, and he's going into his 8th year, and it might be Ty Chandler. I don't know why. I just don't know why they didn't take a running back higher. I think the Vikings might have been, when we did Blake Corum, I thought the Vikings might have been on that. We did projected teams, maybe would go after a guy like Corum or even Bucky Irving, who my beloved Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But like, why you wouldn't take a running back higher? Because it's Ty Chandler is a solid backup. I mean, he did solid work last year. I mean, I have no problem if Ty Chandler is in my rotation, but he can't be my feature guy. And Aaron Jones at this stage, I don't think he's a feature guy either.
Yeah, it's pretty much just handing these guys
55% of the rushes. What are they crazy? You're going to get Aaron Jones to be hurt week 3? So it'd be nice to these teams, and there's probably some Minnesota Vikings fans, tuning in or whatever. But I'm sorry, you guys would admit this.
It's hogwash. It is. It's hogwash. It's what it is. As much as I would love, as much as I would love to see the Vikings kind of like do something. No, they're not doing shit this year. I mean, with what they got, like, oh,
Get out of here. Get out of here.
I mean, yeah, they have 2 good guys. That's it. I mean, toss in a little Hawkinson, but 2 good guys to do something, touchdowns and etc. Come on now.
Yeah, it's a lack. I know they had, they gave JJ the record contract. I get it, but you're still. I mean, McCarthy's on a rookie deal. Darnold is what, 10 million.
I think so.
Basically,
yeah, I'm not sure.
They're not paying anything for the quarterbacks. Running back deals. Like we said with Josh Jacobs, they're all the same. I mean, unless you're CMC, so they're all pretty reasonable. Hawkinson, tight end contracts are super reasonable based on the productivity. So Hawkinson's still, what 15 to 17 million, somewhere in there, which is for what he puts up is decent. Like yeah. They could have found some room for. Go after Saquon. I know Saquon probably wanted to stick it to the Giants and, maybe stay out east or whatever, but it's like, you got to make a run at a guy like that. Saquon's still only 27. Still only 27. Or better yet, draft an unproven young guy who's cheap. Take a Bucky Irving. They could have very well got him. Even Blake Corum. And then they get...
Yeah, it's frustrating because these guys, this team's going to be at the bottom. This team's going to be at the bottom of the division for sure.
It looks good because we remember Aaron Jones from, running over guys and running, catching passes, doing all this great stuff for the Packers the last few years. He's not that guy anymore. I'm sorry. He's not that guy. He can still be serviceable. Like, if Aaron Jones is my backup, hell yeah, sign me up. But you're a feature guy? No. Ty Chandler, same thing. He's a rotational guy. So they don't have a feature running back this year. And they had Dalvin Cook for all those years, and he was holding it down. And I know he got old, but it's just the running back room. Not impressed with the receivers. I love the 2 receivers a lot. That's where you're gonna have to win through the air. I should say 3. Hawkinson's a de facto receiver, so I love their 3 receivers. That's why they're the 3 top fantasy players. But then you start getting Aaron Jones, Sam Darnold. Like, it just the water gets dirtier than a Minnesota lake. Okay, can't see the bottom. Don't know what's coming. Don't know if a bass is coming, if a walleye's coming.
So I am trying to.
Bigfoot's coming.
I was actually trying to look.
Adrian Peterson's coming.
I was trying to look here. So Aaron Jones against the Vikings has put up 116, 154 yards, 111, 120 some odd yards throughout his career. Facing the Vikings.
So they signed an injury prone running back because he put up big games against them. So that's the GM thought process. So he's just like, You know what? I
So
remember this guy torching us the last couple of years.
right.
Vividly in my mind, I saw number in that white jersey, that 33. Just you know what? We're gonna wait till he's past his prime, and we're gonna sign that boy. We're gonna bring him.
This is almost the same as, hey, Barkley, since you torched us, come to the Eagles. This is the same damn thing. Hey, Aaron Jones, we know he torched us, but hey, come on over. So it's funny to see he had almost 1,000 yards, 5 touchdowns in his 11 games versus the Vikings.
How is there GM, like in high school, or that's child logic. Like, why are you no. You pay you didn't have to pay anybody. You go and take a Blake Corum, Bucky Irving,
Hell yeah, dude.
Braylon Allen, just one of those running backs, second, third, fourth round. You would have been okay.
Yeah.
Better than Ty Chandler. I mean, at this point, I think a couple of those running backs, especially Corum, they're better than Aaron Jones at this point.
Yeah.
So, like,
most definitely.
But I know you got to piece it together. I get it. With the cap and everything. But and you got 3 studs there. It's gonna have to be through the air. So that's why I put Darnold there. I mean, or you could put McCarthy at 5. They're kind of interchangeable. I'm thinking McCarthy's eventually gonna get the job, but he's got guys to work with. He's got. Who better than those 2 receivers in that tight end? And Josh Oliver, who's my honorable mention as a tight end. So he's got through the air. That's where they're gonna have to win, because they ain't doing it. They ain't doing it with the running game.
No, not at all. I mean, they got McCarthy at 3,400 and 21 touchdowns.
Yes, much.
Who knows? That might be his ceiling for right now for him coming in. I mean, with them not having the run game, what are they gonna do? They're gonna have to pass the damn ball. So
I agree with you. I agree 100%. I mean, I just don't think he's going to get enough games, because I think they're going to be somewhat competitive with Darnold. Look at what Kevin O'Connell did with Jaron. What the fuck is it? Not Jaron Hall, but who's the other guy? Nick Mullins. That's Nick Mullins. Yeah, look at the stats Nick Mullins was putting up. Donovan says Jones will have more yards against the Vikings than he will finish with the Vikings. Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, think about it. I mean, the Vikings traded for the kid from Arizona last year to come in and play. That's how desperate they were for quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're. I'm okay. No, I'm okay with them taking because you got to take a young franchise guy. They couldn't. Obviously, I'm not a Caleb Williams fan. Self-admittedly,
I'm not either.
Drake May project. The guy I would have went after was Jaden Daniels. If I was the Vikings, I would have tried to get up to 2 to take Jaden. I think Jaden Daniels is going to be just fine. As I said when we did Washington a couple weeks ago, I think Jaden Daniels might end. There's a good chance he might end up being the best of the bunch. So that would have been the guy I would have tried, because I think he's ready-made to step in. I think McCarthy's a project, and I think these stats are ambitious, even if he's going to be chucking the ball left and right. They're not factoring in a lot of the interceptions too. I know they've got about 13 interceptions. He plays a full year. He's throwing more than 13 interceptions. Just saying.
and that's a
in the deep end.
And that was a downfall with McCarthy too a little bit, when he didn't have like a lot of like passing touchdowns just because they ran so much with Corum being there and whatnot. So his touchdowns were, he had 22 touchdowns. That should have been like 30 touchdowns or 35 touchdowns. But no,
look at what he was working. Jay, look what he was working with. He had Roman Wilson.
Yep.
Blake Corum.
Yep.
I forget the tight end's name, but he was solid. Like he had some guy. At Michigan, and obviously we know the defense was off the charts, but like, and the Vikings, he's gonna have some weapons too. Yeah, he's got Kevin O'Connell. I think is a damn good coach, and he's got weapons here, but there's a whole different animal. You got, you got guys like Montez Sweat, you got guys like Aiden Hutchinson, the kid from the Packers. I'm not thinking of. I think he's from Michigan. Gary. From Michigan, he can get after get after the quarterback. So, not the best learning grounds. I think he should let old Sam Darnold take the beating, come in halfway through the year like the conquering hero, because he's going to be working with these weapons here, But I just think I think the stats are ambitious. So in a redraft league, I wouldn't touch him. Dynasty, obviously go after him. So whatever you deem his value. But redraft year to year, I'd stay away. Not the year for it, because he's not going to be even a keeper league. He's not going to be one of your 3 keepers.
Yeah, more than likely not. I mean, in 2 QB leagues, if it was a two QB keeper, I probably wouldn't either. I think you can get him back even if that was the case too. I mean, I wouldn't be keeping him for, if he had to have like a better year than Williams for sure. If that was the case, it'd be, absolute guy like, oh shit, dude, I got to try to keep him because, he had a bomb rookie year. So I'm like, yeah, but that probably won't be the case at all.
Because I think it's more or less he won't see the field. I think if he played a full year, there's a good chance he could probably outduel
which is why
Caleb Williams is going to start all. We know that he's going to start all the games.
And which is why I probably end up, I like, especially in redraft, I won't be like touching JJ at all. He more likely, and I'm sure some people will be drafting him, but they'll find out at Darnold's starting, and he'll end up maybe dropping him in the he'll be on waivers. And next thing you know, 2 or 3 weeks from now, next thing you know, quarterback change. There he is. JJ's on the waiver wire, and everybody's scrambling to try to pick him up. So it's kind of like one of those duels. Like, well, shit, do I draft him or not? It's kind of one of those things. I think we'll probably learn a little bit more once training camp does open. We'll see those headlines. Oh, JJ looks good. JJ might be the guy, or Sam Darnold's looking good. JJ threw 2 interceptions, or some garbage that you'll see on Sports Center or whatever. All these little knick-knack stuff. So I mean, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna come down to you might be right. Sam Darnold might start a little bit because they haven't really named anybody yet at all.
Yeah. Just for fantasy advice, I just buyer beware. Dynasty, I have no issue. Dynasty, that's the whole name of the game, is like projecting and holding on to guys and projecting years down the line. But redraft, it's even in 2 quarterback leagues, I just hold off because he's still, like I said, he's still a project in my eyes, even with all these weapons, everything.
Yeah, I just think
If this was Jaden Daniels with these weapons stepping in day 1, I think Jaden Daniels can make the Pro Bowl.
It's possible. I think he'd be kind of in the same.
The Vikings would be a playoff team with Jaden Daniels. I have no.
I think they'd be borderline. I just don't think they would have enough weapons to accommodate what Daniels can do. And if that was the case, Daniel would probably he'll be the next freaking Lamar Jackson, just running up and down the freaking field.
He married. That was going to be the case. Washington might have got even at number. I mean, can a number 2 pick really be a steal? Kinda.
Well,
Caleb, because these dumb Bears,
honestly, hey,
these brain dead Bears, they passed.
If you think about it,
and the creepy guy from Cleveland when he used to be good, they passed on them, for Mitch Trubisky, Trubisket,
yeah, Trubisket, he's a Trubisket nowhere.
Daniels here.
He's Trubisket nowhere. So no, here's something real quick. Yeah, so here's some. This is, as you were just saying that. Look at what Daniels is actually working with. He's got McLaurin and he's got Dotson, McCarthy, J.J. Addison, and then they have
Hawkinson.
Yeah, and then it's pretty much this is
number 4 fantasy tight end in PPR last year. People forget how good T.J. Hawkinson is.
It's funny. I mean, it's almost similar. They the Washington receiving game, total garbage. Backfield is kind of garbage. Vikings, almost the same situation. 2 guys, backfield garbage.
Yeah, they should have, But I honestly, I'd rather have Brian Robinson if we're talking Commanders versus Vikings here. I'd rather have Brian Robinson Jr. than anybody in the Vikings backfield. I'll tell you that. He could start. Yeah, they had him over. I'd take him over Aaron Jones. You damn right.
But yeah, is there anything else you want to mention about the Vikings here before we move on to our very last team we got to talk about here?
The people that are viewing this, if they're Vikings fans, they're either the quiet type or they're not. They agree with me. They know. They say Eli, this is gospel. Preach, Eli. I'm preaching about the Minnesota Vikings here.
Or they're giving you the middle, or they're giving you the middle finger.
Yeah. One of these. And then one of these. Okay. So, but to review if you want a couple like a couple dark horse guys like we gave you from Detroit and maybe with the Packers too. Jordan Addison, because they got him falling off, falling down a little bit. Jordan Addison, number 40 for average draft position. That is stealing. That is stealing. He's better than that. And Josh Oliver, if you want an insurance plan for TJ Hawkinson, Josh Oliver, I like him a lot, the backup tight end. So if you want some insurance policies for your fantasy team, he would be a good one. And the running back, there's no hope there unless you would. And all the the musical the game of musical chairs is over. Okay, all the running backs sat down. They all got their team. Tony Pollard's got his damn team. Josh Jacobs has his team. Aaron Jones obviously has his team. He's still wearing that stupid Packers outfit. All right, enough.
All right. So we're on to our last team, huh?
Touchdown, Bears! Yeah, there might be a lot of that this year, or not. Well, Eli, Jamie, you don't mention a lot of the number 6th and 7th. Well, because the Packers are really the only team that have any depth at receiver. I mean, a lot of these other guys are top heavy. We don't care about obscure guys that are probably going to be on the practice squad or cut, or playing for our beloved UFL in the Birmingham. we don't waste our breath with that. Yes, please.
There's our pun for the day.
I want my trophy. I'm a snowflake. I'm special. I want my trophy.
Well, I hope everybody has gotten something out of this today. And I know it's the previews for us are a little bit long, a little bit long because there's just so much detailed information. And we want to get out there for everybody to kind of sink their teeth into, and just kind of look at outside the box kind of stuff, because we're all diving into stats and stuff like that. But then you gotta just take a moment, step back, and take a look, like, oh shit, dude, like that, some of the things you might say is actually legit. Some of it might be off the wall. I mean, Eli's a little off the wall, but I mean, I try to be as legit as possible. Yeah, he's kind of grayscale back there, but we just try to give you more of a perspective. I mean, it's funny because both him and I, we could, dude, we don't even have to go to the bar or anything. We could just sit down, crack open a beer, and we can talk sports all night long without even a hiccup. We can just talk about whatever it might come to be, and be like, no, dude, that doesn't make no sense. So I mean, it's just. It's just us having our normal conversation, but broadcasted to the world.
Yeah. We turn out. I think it's a crotch rocket outside. We turn the volume up a little bit. We with our normal conversations, they go up to 11. So when we say, hey, Mike Thomas. Yeah, Mike Thomas as a Minnesota Viking. We've discussed that before. It's stuff like that. It rolls off the tongue because you got to be creative, because there's going to be cuts, there's going to be injuries, there's going to be we're pulling stuff for like in different scenarios because we know. I mean, how many times was Cole Beasley signed? Cole Beasley a few years ago with like the Bills and Cowboys, and I think he might have been the Jets, and he was randomly popping up on teams like, oh. He was like Jason Dan Voorhees or Freddie. This guy was dead, and then all of a sudden he's catching passes from Josh Allen or something. So you got to be prepared. A lot of these veteran receivers, there's going to be injuries. There's a lot of scrubs, a lot of 5, 6, 7, 8 receivers that can't play a lick. So and some veterans like Michael Thomas, who's proven he's been a All-Pro level. He's not that guy anymore, but he's been an All-Pro level receiver. So if you need some extra help for a cheap veteran contract, he's an option. And we, go down a list of a bunch of guys like that. But
oh yeah, most definitely. That's for damn sure.
And speaking of veterans here, got a couple. Yep. You got the Airwalk shirt, repping that.
Damn right.
Got my sleeveless hoodie here. Keep me nice and warm down here. Yes. The Bears.
Those damn Bears. God.
The Bears.
Do we have to talk about these guys?
They deserve.
Do we have to?
They deserve to be number 4 for hitching their wagons to Caleb damn Williams. That's why they deserve the number 4 spot. No other reasons.
Oh, you mean
the DJ Moore trade? I like DJ Moore a lot. He's shown the guy couldn't score a touchdown in Carolina, but now he's what was DJ Moore last year? Let me look up.
He had like
Andy notes.
He
was the number 6 fantasy receiver last year. Keenan Allen, the number 8 fantasy receiver last year. Cole Kmet, the number 8 fantasy tight end last year. These guys were firing on all cylinders. All 3 of these guys at top. And then Roma Dunze, the stud rookie out of Washington. I mean, there's a lot to like here, right? If this was another quarterback, I might, but not Caleb Williams. Not this. No. And I have to put this motherfucker in the top 5. I have to put this crybaby. This paints his damn nails of fuck Utah or whatever goofy shit he was crying with his mama. Hold me, mom. USC's not gonna make a bowl game. Lincoln Riley's a terrible coach. Our defense is terrible. I lost again. Well, motherfucker, you should have stayed at OU. You should have stayed at Oklahoma. Okay? He had it made there. He had it made. He followed his coach, and he led you astray. No, Caleb Williams, yeah, he's a crybaby. I think there was reports that, I didn't throw all them picks. Yeah, you did. Hey, this is 2024, bro. This is social media. All this shit's online. Okay, everybody saw the infamous practice where he threw 7 picks. Okay, guess what? Peyton Manning maybe did that too, like back in the day. But, there was no fucking social media in 1998, or Tom Brady maybe even struggled, and there's probably been great quarterbacks to do stuff like that. But everything's social media now, and this guy, he's like to me, he's like the first NIL quarterback to hit the pros, right? Like fully NIL. Like this guy has been getting paid, millions of dollars with, endorsements. I think it was with Wendy's, probably a couple other endorsements he's had. Yeah, this guy's been raking in the dollars left and right. Problem is, he's just not that good, and the Bears are going to come to find that out. He's just not that good. Okay, he's better. I mean, he's gonna be solid, but they're talking him up like he's a generational talent. Who's the last generational talent they were talking? Trevor Lawrence. Excuse me. Last time I checked, he's not even a top 10 quarterback.
That's funny you say that. Out of that whole draft class, everybody else is nowhere to be seen but him.
Zach Wilson's bang more of his mom's friends than he's thrown NFL touchdowns. I like Cougars too. I'm not going to hate on Zach, but
Trevor,
Justin Fields is having to take table scraps now. He's having to like bus Russell Wilson's table, hoping that he gets hurt or hope he gets benched or something just to see the damn field. You got
Trey Lance too,
Trey Lance. I mean, he's the worst of the bunch. He stole money from the 49ers, and he's stealing money from the Cowboys. This guy will never see the field. He's going to go back to Marshall. Yeah, he's from Marshall, Minnesota. That's where he's going to go back to. He'll probably be like a high school basketball coach pretty soon. Okay.
Oh, wait. I got it. He goes back to North Dakota and helps the Bison win a championship because as an
assistant coach, as the receiver, as the quarterback coach or receiver coach, sure. But that whole draft was trash. This draft is, we don't know. Drake May is going to be a bust. I've said that. I think Jay's not that. That's his boy from UNC, but we're not that far off with that. McCarthy's got a lot to work with. Good coach, good weapons. We'll see. We'll see what he does in the pros. Penix, if he even sees the field. Bo Nix, I like what I've seen so far. I liked a lot of what I saw at Auburn and Oregon with him. And Jaden Daniels, I'm the highest on. I'll be honest. But Caleb Williams, no. Let's talk. Since you got the receivers up, let me get off Caleb for a second. DJ Moore he's a perennial 1,000-yard receiver. Now, he used to not be able to score touchdowns with the Panthers, but now I don't think that's an issue with the Bears anymore. He's their number 1 guy. I know the target percentages don't pan that out, but Keenan Allen's a target machine. That doesn't mean he's going to end up with the most amount of yards. Keenan Allen's always been a target machine. Last year, at 150. Old 33-year-old man had 150 targets.
that's
had a renaissance year for himself. The top 10
and
year.
this was the other thing too. When I was looking at this team, I'm like, okay, DJ Moore came in 1,300 some odd yards, and then all of a sudden he's losing 300 some odd yards, so it's just like, it's like, damn, dude. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you look back at the beginning there, they were like, I think they were like top 3. Let me look here. Yeah, top 4 in rush plays, almost bottom in pass plays. So I mean, you could see that DJ Moore was pretty much their offense because they had nobody, clear Herbert, they did and Roshan. They weren't doing anything. They weren't getting anything done.
Those are
They
backups.
weren't, yeah, they weren't getting anything done. So I mean, if you think about it now, I mean, now it's just kind of like one of those things. Oh shit, are they going to be a freaking high flying, air passing offense here with Keenan Allen? It's funny because they got Keenan Allen with more receptions than DJ Moore, and then or Rome coming in here having almost the same receptions as freaking DJ Moore. So it's kind of like it seems like it's like all confuzzled. You look at the target percentages, you're like, damn, this is Keenan Allen's getting more than DJ Moore. It's like what the hell?
I don't think Keenan can repeat that though. I
No,
don't. It's like a fighter. It's like if Mike Tyson had fought Jake Paul. Before that fight. Jake Paul's a lot. I mean, what, 30 years younger? It's like, dude. Mike probably would have got some shots in early, but I mean, I don't see even whatever he was, almost 60-year-old Mike Tyson hanging with a young buck like Jake Paul. That would have been over in mid rounds or something. But same thing with Keenan Allen. Like, he got his final shots in with the Chargers. I think Bears fans are going to be greatly disappointed. Keenan Allen I think it's okay at draft position number 27. I think that's decent, but I can see him falling off a cliff. So I mean, it's nice insurance there. You're not taking him at 15 or anything higher. DJ Moore, I think that's great value at 18, but Keenan Allen at 27, that's buyer beware, because I just think people have their hopes up, and he ain't getting 150 targets again. I don't care what the percentage there says. I don't care who's slinging him the ball. Like, Keenan Allen ain't sniffing 150 targets this year, especially when they got to feed Rome Odunze.
Yeah,
they got to feed DJ Moore. They got to feed Cole Kmet. They got to give a little bit of table scraps to Gerald Everett. Tyler Scott's decent. I don't mind him as my number 4. He's better than, they had a lot of shitty guys that were miscast before. Tyler Scott, number 4, number 5 receiver. That's right where he should be at. Darnell Mooney was cast as the number 1 guy for a couple years, and he was trash. He's just, he's not that guy. So
no, not at all. Well, I
can see Rome. I could see Rome jumping Keenan Allen pretty maybe early mid year. Like Rome Odunze is gonna. Eli, you're talking on both sides of your mouth. You're bashing Caleb, but you're saying you're talking up all his weapons. Yeah, I am, because I think another quarterback. This could be a Brady to the Bucs situation where you step in year 1 and win a Super Bowl. With this, I mean, if it was another quarterback, if it was like who's like Dak.
Yeah,
I dare say, because the Cowboys got some. I mean, they got CD and a couple weapons, but not these kind of weapons. Not throughout the entire. Even DeAndre Swift is better than Zeke and Dowdle and anything they have at this point. So Bears have a better starting running back, probably a better running back room, definitely, better receiver room. Like Dak, if he were to come in with this offense, would probably take them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's very damn true. It's it's kind of one of those things. I mean, yeah, Keenan Allen come in having 100 plus 150 some odd targets gone his way, and now he's got to try to share the load with a DJ Moore, a Rome that where I think he's just a place setter right now. I mean, yeah, he might be able to, it's funny. I was looking back here real quick at his game log quick. There was a couple games where he had a couple 40-pointers, one against Minnesota and one against Detroit. He had 215 receiving yards, no touchdowns. And then he actually had one against Detroit, 2 touchdowns, 175 yards receiving. But he actually had 11 receptions, 18 receptions, So I mean, maybe he's got some sticky stuff in his gloves for him to maybe see these receptions that he's
Investigate that, man. Do it.
Where's the MLB when we need it? Hey, you need to test that glove, big boy.
I know.
But it's kind of one of those things where I think with Keenan kind of being injury prone here and there, because I mean he didn't play. There's some games where he didn't always play full games. He's missed some here and there. I mean 2022 10 games, last year 13 games. So he really didn't play like a whole full set of games. So which is where Rome can come in and be that number 2 guy. Come in and actually fill in what Allen can do, which is what I'm hoping does happen because I'd rather see Rome be, the elite guy in this offense than, Keenan Allen.
I think he's going to have a better rookie year than, let's say another guy that was a first-round pick who kind of came in as the third wheel. Remember JSN last year with the Seahawks?
Oh, yep.
I think Odunze is going to have a better year than better rookie year than he had. He's going to have a better rookie year than Jaden Reed had. Not quite Puka. I mean, Puka's an all-time anomaly, but
yeah, it's I think with JSN, that's the thing that he came into is that they had
2 established guys.
Yeah, they did, and Rome coming in here, they only got maybe 1 established guy, DJ Moore. Who's been there. He didn't get see any touchdowns, but he ended up seeing 7 touchdowns. I think 6 or 7 touchdowns last year. I don't remember how many touchdowns exactly, but he had more than what he had with the Panthers. Let's put it that way. So there's an opportunity for Rome to actually come in and be the 2 right away, and then what Keenan Allen can be. So I mean, there's that upside where JSN didn't have that upside. JSN was kind of slowly worked in. Maybe number the 3 or 4 where Rome can come in and actually be the 2.
Yeah, Rome is burning. And, they ain't putting out the torch until they solve this. I don't know. I'm not. A lot of this stuff now with these quarterbacks now is just it's maturity. It's like fantasy wise, he should succeed. Like fantasy wise, because it's almost like it's too big to fail. They've stacked the deck in his favor too much. It's just I mean they're loaded right now. And even old man Keenan Allen is still better than a lot of receivers in the league. So, it's two good tight ends. One really good receiver, one kind of veteran who's probably going to be on the decline, and then one stud rookie. The defense is, like I said, they drafted that. They got a little better. Tyler Scott, serviceable guy. Running back DeAndre Swift is serviceable as a feature guy. Not great. To me, he's not great, but serviceable. Khalil Herbert, nice complimentary guy. Roshan, can catch some passes. Had a couple moments last year. I don't have any problem if Roshan's in a rotation. But I'm really trying hard not to put Caleb Williams over because I despise the kid. I want to see him fail. I do. I'll admit it. I'm a hater. I want to see him fail.
but
I think he's been given everything known, everything known to man, and he's been given every advantage, and he's not that good. He doesn't deserve a stacked deck like this. Give this to Jaden Daniels. Give this to another. Drake May needs this. Drake May is going to fail in New England. He needs weapons like this. He needs a system like this. Like not Caleb fucking Williams.
But as most of us would say,
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
So that's what I do. That's why I want to do a Darth Vader choke. I just want to grab him.
It is. I mean, much as I despise Caleb Williams, hell, I was actually just gonna say, you know what? Tyler Bagent could come in and run this fucking offense.
Tyson,
he could come in and sling this ball around with these weapons. Why couldn't he do the same damn thing? I mean, load him up. I mean, he could do. I mean, we actually covered him. We actually did a little. I'll put a little thing up in the corner up there because we actually did a little highlight on him. I mean, look at what he did. I mean, in his college career, I mean, dude, this kid was electric, dude. I mean, hell, this kid could run the damn offense.
He did last year. I mean, he did. I mean, DJ Moore had damn near a career year with a lot of that was from shitty, like no-name quarterback play. Badgett wasn't that bad. For given where he was, undrafted and all that, nobody knew who the hell he was. Like, he didn't play that bad. So Caleb Williams. I mean, that's that's going to be the litmus test right there. If you can't blow Tyson Bagent out of the water, with this stacked deck in your favor, then you really can't play.
Yeah, they actually got him.
I'm not touching Caleb. I had to put Caleb here because he's going to be the starting quarterback from day one, and he's going to put up some stats. That's because it's blah 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 blah. But I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole. I'm not redraft, nothing. 2-quarterback league, nothing.
I'll take Jaden Daniels. I'll take Jaden Daniels over Caleb.
Yeah, damn right. I'll take him 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. I'll take Jaden Daniels over this guy.
Yeah, if you think about it,
Michael Penix, who's going to be sitting on the bench the next couple of years. I'll take Michael Penix over Caleb Williams. I'll take Bo Nix over Caleb Williams. I'll take J.J. McCarthy over Caleb Williams.
Oh,
Drake May is for sure the only one who's going to be 100. Drake May will be a bust. I would not touch Drake May either.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I'd hate. I mean, that's the other thing too, coming in and seeing where Drake May is gone. I mean, what do you think? Let's swap the let's swap the QBs real quick. What if Caleb Williams was with the Patriots? Working with Polk and Baker and all that.
He need a. Caleb needs Snuggie. Okay, Caleb needs to be held. Caleb. That's what it would be. It'd be a big fucking love fest up there. Going 2-15 every year. Love fest. It's snowing. I've never seen snow in my life. Oh, what do I do?
This swapping the situation
with the Giants. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do when Tyron Tracy Jr. is your feature fucking back? What are you gonna do then, Caleb?
It's swapping these guys around. You think about it like, okay, well, I mean, if he's such a great talent, then he could have gone to any team and made something of himself. And it happened to be the Bears, but what if it was the Patriots? What if it was the Giants? Where the Giants really, Giants got neighbors, but that was the first round, first overall pick. But I mean, if that was the case, I mean, he wouldn't be working with what he's got now.
If he was what they hyped him up to be, year one, because remember, Ben Roethlisberger went to an AFC Championship year one. And granted that, this was back in the day and Steelers had a good defense and Jerome Bettis, all that crap. I get it. If he was all he was cracked up to be, no less than a division championship. If he was but he's not that guy. They aren't even going to make the playoffs. They aren't even going to finish 500. This team is going to go. This team, I think, and the only reason I'm saying 7-10 is because the level of talent on the offense. But they're going to go 7-10. Yeah, I said it. And they no.
Yeah, I think they finished. I mean, I think they're at the bottom of this division.
Fantasy advice is stay away from him long term. I guess in 2-quarterback leagues, you're gonna have to begrudgingly you're gonna have to take him. Where's the I need it. Begrudgingly, you're gonna have to take the fucking guy. Hope he gets hurt, not seriously hurt, but just hurt, and he's out. And then they put Badgett in, and because I'm okay with Badgett getting the fantasy stats, not this guy. He's been given every. He's been he has. He was born. You almost say he was born on third base.
Yeah, it's just one of those. I mean, there's gonna be people that's gonna be hyping up this guy, and there's guys that just don't like him. I tried to like this guy, and I'm just passing. I mean, if I had to take Drake May over him, I'll take Drake May over him. I just don't care for the guy.
I'd rather see any of these other 5 guys and Rattler and Pratt. I'd rather see and Joe Milton, who was drafted too. I'd rather see any of these guys succeed over this guy. Yeah. I really would. I haven't despised a college quarterback this much coming out since Josh Rosen, and he failed too. After 1 year, the Cardinals sent his ass packing. They had enough.
Yeah, I just lost my train of thought now because I was just like,
It's okay. Because while you're thinking, I'm tired. Because I'm tired of looking at that stupid Bears. I made it, but I'm tired of looking at that stupid Bears logo there. So here's what we'll keep. Yeah, we can probably put some rookie whatever. Top 5 fantasy rookies here, quick. Roma Dunze. So 3 out of 30 basically means there's 30 eligible rookie receivers. So Roma Dunze is number 3. So that would put him right behind Marv Jr. from the Cardinals, and Malik Neighbors from the Giants. So Roma Dunze might outproduce both of them. I mean, this guy's got this kind of talent. Well, wouldn't that mean Caleb? Not damn Caleb. Maybe Tyson. Maybe there's hope. Maybe Caleb goes down in preseason, and Tyson Bagent, is the one, throwing some of these rookies. Way too much bears. I know. I feel sick. I feel that's why you felt the cough coming on. That's what caused it, Donovan.
Okay, oh God, this is so disgusting. I think I'm gonna puke.
Like Stewie said, exactly. I want to hide this fucking tree here. And there's more bears. I got to put Williams too because Marshawn Lloyd ain't that good. So I got down. But he's gonna. You just had to put Caleb there. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, because there's gonna be somebody that comes across this list. Well, why wasn't Caleb there? Well, he's there. I don't trust him, but he's there. He's 1 of 9, whatever. Marshawn Lynch. I want to call him Marshawn Lynch. I want to keep saying Marshawn Lloyd. He's just going to be a rotational running back. Nothing to ho-hum. Baki, I like a lot. I mean, he could play for my team any day of the week. All his variety. If I had a little more gumption, a little more in the testicular area, I would have put Baki at not 1 but 2. I would have put him above Caleb and Lloyd there. And then J.J. McCarthy, just because I don't think he's really going to see the field much. I think it's going to be Sam Darnold most of the year, if not at least half. So I put McCarthy there. I could have put McCarthy because I think long term he's going to be better than Lloyd. So I guess I could have put him at 3 or 4 or something. So that's all up for debate. But this is kind of a weak rookie division when you look at it. I mean, there's not a ton to. So, because Micheal Pratt I like a lot, but Micheal Pratt's not going to see the field,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if there's an injury, so not a lot to work with.
Yeah, that's for damn sure. Well, we actually appreciate you joining us. I mean, it's you guys. Hey, I didn't know we were Ron Burgundy up in here. Come on now. No, we appreciate.
No. Go. I should write that on my fingernails here. Go fuck yourself, Caleb Williams.
Oh my God! Oh no!
Your YouTube short of the week, it's right there. Go fuck yourself, Caleb Williams.
No, as I was just saying, no, we appreciate everybody that actually jumped in the comments. I mean, it's not a show without you guys, because that's what makes this show happen. And us, just being out there, and you guys subbing too as well. That helps us grow too as well. I mean, it's been a long time coming. I mean, we weren't quite sure what we were kind of doing, but I think we kind of finally found our niche. The previews is the big thing for us to kind of get it out there every year before the NFL. It's kind of like your draft prep. Kind of like, okay, well, this guy. So it kind of helps you guys out, kind of mentally think, okay, well, do I want to draft this guy? It just kind of helps you out in general. So this is kind of our big show, for the year, and then we kind of get into some other stuff as well. But no, without you guys, this wouldn't be a show. Just real quickly on your rankings there, I would probably go Rome 1. I'll pick McCarthy 2, Caleb 5, and then we'll go Lloyd 4, and Mr. Vasky at 5. That's how I'd rank them.
Vodka.
But yeah, it's
Caleb Williams sucks. He's no good.
Yeah. But yes, I appreciate it. I hope everybody's actually got something out of this. We put our hard work into getting everything ready, and our thoughts and opinions on everything, and we appreciate all the comments out there too as well. That adds to the show too as well. So we appreciate it. And I'll actually, I'll put in some links, afterwards. I'll get all the time codes and stuff like in there, and I'll put some links up in there for the guys that we did cover for our college spotlights and stuff like that. I think there was a couple in there, so I'll put them up there. I think we covered Rome too as well, so I'll put him up in there somewhere too. So I think we did a couple of guys, so I'll put links up in there. You guys can check them out for long term use and whatnot. And let's see.
Yeah, if you stayed in for the marathon, you hung all 15 rounds with us. I mean, more power to you. This ain't easy. sometimes we kind of double up our thoughts and our everything, but to be able to talk 2 straight hours. I mean, there's no intermissions here. I could have used a little drinky poo, but we were okay there. We got through. We got 2 hours in, and cranked out another division. Now we halfway done, just like Caleb Williams. Ooh. We're halfway done too. We're gonna move over. We're gonna move over back to the AFC where we don't have to talk about Caleb Williams. None. Screw him. And we're probably gonna do the AFC South, which means we get to talk about quarterbacks I do like.
Oh, really?
C.J. Stroud, AR5.
Ooh.
I know. Well, and some I don't, like Trevor Lawrence. But be interesting. Yeah, if you liked what you saw tonight, especially we're upper Midwest guys, we're South Dakota guys. So if you want to share this at all, I mean, we're gonna make some shorts out of this. Jay's always great with the production and on everything. He's gonna make some shorts out of this.
Yeah, I will be for sure.
Kind of make it into snack size bits. I mean, we don't need the whole king size bar. Just a couple little Hershey kisses. So we'll break it up into some shorts, and if you got some Vikings fans in the family, some Packers, you hate the Bears, you hate Caleb Williams, you're preaching to the choir, share it around. Lawrence is the best. Get out of here. I'm glad you took that comment off. No, no. Nowhere on the planet is Trevor Lawrence the best.
No. Just make sure you follow us on all of our social media sites. Outer the Fan on X, Eli Appletoff on X2 as well. We got it. Get over there and start following this guy. Get him tweeting out there. He's lacking in that.
I've been busy. I've been flying around and shit, but I'll be less busy pretty soon. I'm going to be on the X more because I got a lot of thoughts in my head, and some of this stuff comes to life, like Michael Thomas on the Vikings depth chart. Let's talk this into existence. Let's make this happen. Get on the GM. Get on the local radio. Get on. Let's make this happen because the Vikings could use that depth there. So we're gonna will some stuff into existence, and we'll probably will some stuff into existence. When we talk maybe Titans next week and what Will Levis can do, and so that's just a little snippet there. You like what we did? Tune back in next week. We might move it back a night because I'm gonna be out of town for work again. So we'll get a definite date for sure, but it might possibly move to Thursday. Usually around the 7:15 Central. If it's Central time, that's usually where we start streaming. So if you want to come back and find out some, and nothing else, you can find out about where guys were traded to or signed in the offseason. Like a lot of people that know that Tony Pollard was a Titan, or were some of the rookies where they were drafted. Where did Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU go? Oh well, he went in the first round to the Jags. Probably didn't know that. So let's come back for some AFC South next week.
Yes, and I think that sounds good. I hope everybody enjoys their rest of their night. I have to work. He will probably have going to bed, and so we will see you guys probably next Thursday for the AFC South Division. Until then, everybody, you guys have yourselves a great night. We will see you guys next time. Wrong one. I gotta find my outro.
Hit the right button.
The right button, right?